my YouTube. Of course I do. Super glare this morning. You don't do much about that. I have a cat under where I keep my camera, so hopefully he's not going to get all crazy. Hopefully. All right. Hi. Happy long weekend if you have a long weekend. All right. So today I'm running just a little bit late. I'm a little. The camera's really weirdly bright. I know what that is. I have to fix that. Sorry. Anyway, I'm a little everywhere this morning. So my thought today was to open up the front of the body, right? Improve our posture, right? Strengthen our back muscles, all of the things, right? Remember, you can add things in, skip things, substitute something else entirely. These things are always up to you. Always, always, always. I'll start something off a little slower, right? So if you don't want to do the big fancy thing, you don't have to do the big fancy thing, but you're still getting the stretch. Make sense? So the other thing I would ask over the next few days, weeks, whatever, is for you to think about the stretches that you really need, right? Like if you go 2 days without stretching your lower back, or without stretching your hip, or whatever it might be, put that in one of the notes maybe, or send me a message or whatever on these videos. And I'm just trying to put a collection together of commonalities, right? So it doesn't mean that you like this particular pose necessarily, but this part of the body is really important for you to stretch to feel good, right? Every day when you're just walking around. Because it's not always, if you don't practice yoga every day, right, which most of us don't, it isn't like I can't do this pose because I haven't done it in 3 weeks in yoga class, right? It's more of the, oh gosh, as I'm sitting at my desk, or as I'm driving in the car, or whatever it is, like your normal life stuff, you feel because you haven't stretched this particular area. That's kind of my thought process anyway. So that's where we are. Again, we'll see what the cat decides to do. All right. And how on Facebook, my microphone doesn't work with my current phone. So if the volume is bad or weird, let me know and I can try and maybe figure something else out. All right. So remember to just listen to your body and do what's right for you this morning. Always, always do what's right for you. So feet underneath the hip bones, your toes point forward. We want to feel the four corners of the feet and then really ground down into them. Right? So imagine pressing down into the floor with your feet. That lights up your legs a little bit, right? Little tuck of the tailbone here, making sure the lower back stays nice and long. Lifting the pelvic floor, that lower belly comes in and up like the ice cream scoop, right? We're tall through the sides of the body. Relax through the shoulders. Now the chest is open, but it's not lifted, right? We're gonna lift it, but not right now. Letting the arms just kind of dangle down by the sides, nice and heavy and loose. Imagine extending out through the crown of the head, lengthening your neck and relaxing into the shoulders here. And just take a moment to be fully present. Begin to notice the fact that you're breathing. And then begin to deepen each breath. So the inhales get bigger Exhales get a little bit more complete. And so we find a breath that is just beyond comfortable. Remember, you're always welcome to use that ujjayi breath, the opening in the back of the throat, so it kind of makes a little bit of a noise in your ear. I don't know that you need to build heat today, it's hot. But it does help the mind stay connected to the breath a little bit easier sometimes. Beginning into our movement here with that next inhale, we're going to take the arms and stretch them up to the ceiling alongside the ears here. Exhale, bring them back down. And just allowing the arms to reflect what your breath is doing. So inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. And once more like that. We're going to come back to the top, inhale. Exhaling the right foot or right hand back toward the floor. We're going to stretch in opposite directions. Reach the left hand up, the right hand down, and then hinge over to the right a little bit here. Stay really nice and grounded through your feet, keeping this left shoulder kind of back. So you might look up at the ceiling or not, but you should be able to see the ceiling underneath your arm. Does that make sense? Take another big breath here. And on the next inhale, we're going to come back up to the top. Take the left hand down. Again, that idea of stretching in opposite directions, but not involving the shoulders so much, right? Give yourself a little hinge over to the left here. And again, your arm alongside your ear, touching. In line with it to keep the shoulder drawn back. And we really want to feel this nice opening in the right side ribs. Let's inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Exhale, release your arms. So we're going to do that variation again one more time here. So inhale the arms up. Take the right hand down again, but this time step the left foot over the right. And then ground both feet as if you were still standing normally, right? Then hinge over to the right. And again, looking up, looking down, closing your eyes, looking forward, whatever. Right? Notice where we have just a little bit of challenge, we'll say. Another big breath. Inhale on the way up. Go ahead and release your arms, switch your feet. And we're going to go to the second side. Same idea there, though. Inhale the arms. Exhale the left hand down and the right foot over. Ground into that right foot and hinge to the left. Opening up the side ribs, taking those big breaths. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then on an inhale, we're coming back up. Releasing the arms. Feet even on the floor. Right. Go ahead and take the hands to the thighs here, keeping the shoulders back, that nice, beautiful posture. We're going to exhale over into a half fold pitch. And then bending into the knees, roll back up again. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, roll up. So just taking a few flows like that. Next time you're in the half fold, go ahead and hold it. And then bend the knees enough that your arms can rest on your thighs. And lean if you need to lean, of course, otherwise we're just kind of hanging out here. We're gonna take the left hand and sweep it up toward the ceiling. Go ahead and let your body kind of shift. No rules right now, right? Notice how the body weight shifts in your feet. The hips kind of shift over. Right? Just let the side bodies open. And then we're coming back through the center, taking the second side. Again, just be nice and easy on your body. Do what it does. And then bring it back to center again. Take the legs straight. Leaning if you need to lean. Belly in, the shoulders stay back. We'd like the legs to stay straight. And then the hips to be in line with the ankles, not back behind. Right? If you have a deeper fold, slowly allow yourself to move to that deeper. Take your time getting there. The hands can stay up on the thighs. They can move to your shins, to the floor, but keep those shoulders back. Try not to round through your spine here. Take just a couple more breaths. And then bringing your hands to the floor, however you gotta get them there. Step yourself back into an all fours position. So hands and knees. Wrists under shoulders as much as possible. Remember to even the body weight out on your hands here. Spine is in this neutral position, knees under hips. From here, we're gonna take the right hand palm up and maybe just bring your elbow to the middle of the mat here. That's really not a big deal. Continue to reach over to the left and see if you can take your shoulder down to the middle of the mat. You don't want to be leaning forward or back. Right? So in that same position, head and neck are comfortable. Try not to lean on your head. The body weight should be in the shoulder and the knees. So nice little twist. Pressing down into the floor with the left hand and the right arm can open up that twist bigger, maybe. And then the left arm, that's your left arm, can either stay on the floor or reach to the ceiling. If you'd like, step the left foot back, come away from the knee, and maybe lift your left foot off the floor. If that's not enough fun yet, you can bend the knee and see if you can find your foot back there. Giving yourself a little quad stretch on top of everything else. Make sure you're breathing. Stay focused. Don't worry if you roll over here. Everybody has done it at least once, I think. Gently release what you got. Making your way back to all fours. So then the same idea on your second side here. Starting with the elbow underneath the body here. If that's all good, take the shoulder down. Pressing more or less into your hands. Adding in the balance, maybe. Adding in the quad stretch. Just kind of see where it goes. Take your time. There's no really end to the pose, right? There's not one specific thing that means, oh, I got that pose. Because there's always something else to add. And you're really just looking for the sensation in the body, not how it ends up looking. We're going to take one more breath, whatever variation you're in, and then we're going to release it. Coming back into the all fours position again. All right. So from all fours then, go ahead and extend the right leg straight back. Heel in line with the hip, and we want to kick through that heel, activating the hamstring, extending the left arm forward, arm alongside the ear like we've been. Keeping the belly engaged. Challenging your balance by closing your eyes if that's you. And then release it down. Switch sides. So left leg back. Again, make that leg work. Extending the right arm forward when you're ready. And releasing it back down again. We're going to add in a little bit of movement this time. So the same general idea, right leg and left arm, extending away from the body. And then with the breath here, exhale, bring your elbow and knee together underneath. Give it a good squeeze. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, reach away. Take a few more flows like that. When you're reaching away, go ahead and release it back down, all fours. Second side, same thing. Left leg and right arm. When you're ready, add in the movement. Take your time. Let's go once more. And then release it. So one more here on the hands and the knees, and we're going to work with the balance a little bit this time. So let's go ahead and face this way. Take the right leg back and bend at the knee. Leaning to the left. See about lifting your right hand away from the floor. And then maybe you can reach back and find your foot. So the balance is tricky. Finding your foot might be tricky. See what you can do with that. If you've got your balance, maybe you can square your hips, kick the foot into the hand, all the fancy things. Listen to your body. Find the challenge. Let's gently release all that. Back to all fours. And then we'll switch sides. Okay. So the left leg back. Bending at the knee. Shifting just enough so you can lift your left hand. And then see about finding your foot over here. And sometimes it works very well on one side and not on the other. So see what happens. Gently releasing what you got. Back into that all fours again. Sitting back, let's take a child's pose. So remember to make yourself happy here. Prop if you need to prop. Sitting back more or less. Stretch the arms out long in front if they're not already. And let's go ahead and make our way into down dog. So just take your time, wiggling, stretching, adjusting your hands and feet if you need. Remember the four corners of the hands. Settling in then, press through the heels, press your chest back, head in line with the arms like we've been. And from our down dog, we're just going to shift into a plank and hold it, right? Nothing fancy. If you need your knees on the mat, take your knees on the mat. Think about where your shoulders are, right? Try not to sink or push away from the floor, right in the middle, nice and neutral. And then the hips. Now, are they drooping? They're drooping, put your knees down. Take a break when you need to take a break. Make sure you're breathing. Lift your right foot or knee. And then put that back down. Lift your left. And then put that back down. Back to down dog. And down to a child's pose. Hands where you need your hands. Stretch the arms out again. Back to down dog. And down dog, lift your right foot. Keep the hips square for just a second. Press through both heels so you can get that extra little stretch. And then keep the shoulders where they are, but open up that right hip. Toes high, maybe bending at the knee. Take that leg straight again. Square your hips. Drop the right foot. And we're going to switch sides, same thing. Lifting the left leg. Hips stay square for a moment at least. And then opening up the hip. Bending at the knee. Keep the left shoulder dropping. Right heel pressing toward the floor. And then release that side. Back down to your child's pose. So from child's pose, making your way, you can go to down dog first. You can just shift forward into a kneeling plank because we're just going to hold in our plank again. So on the knees, not on the knees, wherever you need to be. Head in line and let your head droop. It feels harder when your head is like, oh, Lord, right? Lift your right foot. Release it and lift your left. Releasing that foot. Back to down dog. Stepping the right foot through to a lunge. Work your way so that your toes are all the way up to the top of your mat, right between your hands-ish. You can absolutely drop the left knee to the floor if you need. Just kind of let yourself wiggle around into your hips a little here. And then find a center. Imagine sweeping your legs toward each other. Make them work. Press through the back heel. Extend out the crown of your head. And let's take the right leg straight-ish. Prop if you need to prop, of course. Shoulders stay back. So you can keep pressing the right hip back so your hips are square. Let's go ahead and bend into the knee. Walk the hands around into the center of a straddle. Let yourself kind of hang out here for a little second. So check in with the feet. Make sure their toes are pointing forward. They're comfortably wide enough for you. Well, comfortable. You'll get comfortable. Anyway. And then we're going to walk the hands around to the left and lunge over here. So again, just kind of wiggling around. Checking out your knee ankle alignment here. And then making it like work. So pulling the legs toward each other, but pressing through that right heel and extending out the crown of the head. Thinking about your shoulders, neutral on your back. And then go ahead and take the left leg straight-ish. We're gonna bend back into the knee and take the hands back around into our straddle here. Same thing, adjusting your feet a little wider, more narrow, wherever they need to be. Toes point forward. Staying even on the four corners of the feet. Bend your knees if you need to. We're taking the index and middle fingers and wrapping them around the big toes. Legs straight if you can make them straight. Either way, bend your elbows out to the sides, shoulders back, even on the back, and then maybe even pull a little bit on your toes to draw yourself a little deeper into the fold. Releasing the toes, take the fingers and release behind your lower back. Pulling the shoulder blades toward each other, stretch the knuckles away. Up off of your lower back or not, doesn't matter. Just reach the hands away from the shoulders away from the ears. Let's release the hands. Walk those hands back around toward the right foot, lunging to the top of the mat. We'll step forward into fold. Bringing the hands to the thighs, we're going to bring ourselves up into that half fold again, like where we came down from. Lean if you need to lean, of course. Shoulders back. Bending into the knees, we're going to work through chair here. So both feet even on the floor. Lifting the chest. Right? You can sink deeper into the hips if you really drop your chest to your thighs, but that's not really what we're going for. Try to bring your upper body as vertical as you can and still have your knees as bent as they're going to be. Right? Lean if you need to lean, hands center, extend, maybe interlace behind your back, whatever makes you happy here. Holding for just a couple more breaths. With an inhale, bring yourself all the way up and release the arms. So let's get a little standing back bend in here. Feet even, toes pointing forward. Supporting the lower back with your hands if you feel like you need that. You can choose to interlace your fingers behind your back, take cactus, extend wherever you want to start and wherever you want to finish, right? The motion of the spine is the same. So we want to tuck the tailbone just a little bit, not pressing the hips forward, but keeping the lower back long. Pull the shoulder blades together on your back. And now when I talked about lifting your chest earlier, this is where you're going to do that. All right, so imagine lifting your sternum to the ceiling, creating tons of space. Keeping the head in line, right? We don't want to just flop the head back. And again here, just let your pose develop. Right? Your body's going to say, yeah, that's enough, I got this. Or, hey, I might be able to move a little bit deeper. Or you might be able to change your arm position. Right? So just listening to your body, make sure you can breathe. One more breath. And then inhale your way up. Releasing your arms, maybe roll out your shoulders. Support with the hands on the thighs and nice and easy come back into that half fold place. All the way over. When you're in whatever the deepest part of your fold is, go ahead and let your upper body hang. Right? So really you can grab opposite elbow, let your head hang, shake it around a little bit maybe. And then releasing the arms, bend into the knees, and roll up through your spine, back to standing. Short step back with the left foot. Sort of transition through some warriors here. Starting in warrior one, the toes are pointing forward, the hips are square toward the top of the mat, same with the shoulders. Bending into this right knee. Feeling even on your feet. And again here, extending the arms or not, interlacing them behind your back, adding in a back bend, whatever makes you happy there. Another breath in our warrior one variation. We're going to transition to warrior two. So arms are parallel to the floor. Go ahead and open the left toes out to the left a little bit. Probably widen your stance. Check for your big toe. Look at your right knee. You should see just your right big toe. Hips are square. Arms are parallel to the floor. Spine is really tall. Feeling the body weight nice and even on your feet. So we're going to be here for a little bit. Taking the left hand to the back of the left thigh, turn the right palm toward the ceiling and reach up. But now drop that right shoulder back down and pulling the shoulder blades together on the back like we have for our back bends. That same idea here. This right arm alongside the ear, maybe ish. And see if you can turn more toward the ceiling than the side. Take another big breath. Come forward, back to your warrior two. And then bend the right arm, rest on your thigh, and bring the left arm over the ear. Left arm in line with your ear. Sink into the hips if you can. We bend here a little bit. The legs might be getting a little tired. Release it over into lunge. Step forward into the fold. And let's roll on up through the spine, back standing. So second side, same idea. Whether it looks the same or not, just go with it here. So the short step back with the right foot. Square to the front of the mat. Bending into the left knee, keeping the right heel grounded, and then adding in the arms again, your preference. Transitioning to warrior two. Adjusting your feet. Knee ankle alignment. Taking the right hand to the back of the thigh, left palm toward the ceiling, reach up, drop the left shoulder back down. Opening into that back bend in your warrior. Back to warrior two. And then bring it forward, resting the left arm, bringing the right arm over the ear. Releasing into the lunge, stepping forward into the fold. And then rolling back up through the spine again. all the way to standing. So we're going to take our standing balance next. We've been balancing a little bit, just kind of checking in, seeing if all is good. All right. Standing balance, sorry. Near the wall, on your mat, off your mat, whatever makes you happy here. We're going to try and incorporate some of the things that we've already done on one foot. So let's see. All the way over into the left foot. Bend the right knee. Well, the knee doesn't bend back. Bend it so that your foot is behind you. Then take the right hand and see about finding the foot again. And if you found it on the floor, theoretically, you should be able to find it standing up. But you may notice that you kind of shifted off of your center here. So see about squaring the hips and bringing the right knee alongside the left. Little tuck of the tailbone. Feel it? You can just simply kick your foot into your hand here. Feeling a nice stretch into the shoulder and the chest. Maybe extend your left arm up. You can stay upright or you can begin to hinge forward. Now, as the upper body comes forward, the knee starts to point behind you and then maybe up toward the ceiling a little bit. Kicking the foot into the hand here, you can open up the hip so that instead of pointing toward the ceiling, this right knee maybe points a little bit toward the wall. And now the trick is to reverse that. And then back to standing. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. So, second side. Like the first side never happened. So if it didn't go that well, don't worry about it. This side might be perfect. It's always perfect for you, right? This is you are perfect. This is just the way it is for now. All the way right. Then left knee. Left hand finds the foot. And again, simply squaring up, pointing the knee at the floor, maybe kicking the foot into the hand. This could be enough. This is a challenge. If you want to extend the right arm, if you want to hinge forward, all the way to the floor or not. Opening up the hip or not. And of course, you can simply let go, right? But what would be the fun in that? So, making your way back up. And then releasing. All right. So, enough of that. Let's go to the floor. Hands on the thighs for support. Take yourself over into that half fold. Let yourself just kind of have a second there. Back bend or forward bends are good after back bends, but slamming yourself from one to the other quickly can not feel good. Right? So just take your time all the way down, whatever all the way looks like. If you want to hang again, grabbing onto those elbows, that kind of thing, letting your head relax. Making your way back into all fours and down into a child's pose. Arms extend out front. And we're going to bring ourselves into a kneeling plank. So even if you were in full plank before, come to the knees. Right? Kneeling plank. And we're going to work a little bit of that back bend into this position. So taking the left foot, keep the left knee on the floor, but take the left foot over to the left. Opening your body to the right edge of your mat. So your left hand, left knee, and the right foot are in a straight line as if you were either still in plank or standing up, right? So you can simply extend this right arm, side plank. Make sure your left hand stays happy. If you feel like you're jamming into your wrist, push away from the floor and or move your left hand a little forward of your shoulder. Taking the right foot, step behind your body. Trying to stay closer to your body than further away is easier. I like to stay on my toes, but that's up to you. Tuck your tailbone under so the hips lift. And now see if you can draw your shoulder blades together on your back and rotate your chest toward the ceiling a little bit. The right arm can come alongside the ear or not. And then release that, make your way back to kneeling plank. Take child's pose if you need child's pose. And then we're going to move to the second side. So that right foot over to the right, open the body to the left. Simple, doesn't have to be any more complicated than this. Adding in the little back bend idea by stepping the left foot behind, tucking the tailbone under as the hips pop up, right? The left hand reaches, but the shoulder drops. Maybe bringing the left arm alongside the ear. And then we release that back into kneeling plank, down into our child's pose again. So we're going to come to sit up on the knees. And if this is not for you, remember you can skip it or maybe sit on a block, right, helping lift the hips a little higher. We want to make sure that the spine is tall. That's really all you need here. So taking the hands then to interlace behind the lower back. We want to pull the shoulder blades together on the back. Stretch the knuckles away from the floor. Does this sound, or from the shoulders? Does this sound familiar? Imagine lifting your chest to the ceiling. So little baby back bend here. The tailbone stays tucked under. Try not to stick your butt out. And in line with the spine. Gently release that. Right arm out. Bringing that hand between your shoulder blades-ish, right, or behind your neck, if that's a better, more accurate description. See if you can get your right elbow to point toward the ceiling. Keep the shoulder relaxing. And then see about taking your left hand behind your back. Climb up your spine. And then maybe your fingers will touch it. Maybe they will not. Maybe they're close. Maybe you can interlace your fingers. Maybe you can grab your opposite wrist. Somewhere in between, probably. Right? So keeping the spine nice and neutral, sitting tall, making sure you're breathing. We're going to release that side. Roll your shoulders a bit. And then the same thing on the second side. So the left arm out, reaching between your shoulder blades-ish. Help that elbow point toward the ceiling as much as you can. And then the right hand climbs up. And it's different over here, for better or worse. Different, not worse, different. Sitting tall. Releasing that side. Moving around into your shoulders a little bit. And then go ahead and come forward and tap out your feet. Maybe roll your ankles, tap the tops of your feet on the floor. Whatever feels good there. Stretch your legs long if you like. From there, we're just going to come around to sit so you can stretch your legs here. It was a little while to be in that position, so remember just to move gently. Come out of something, right? If your body is telling you to, and I'm not moving on yet, that doesn't mean you can't. So let's sit nice and tall here, upright on the pelvis. Lifting the arms. We'll come forward into a fold. So for a second, just like when we sort of hung over, right? We let our head drop, we grabbed the opposite elbow, whatever it was there. Let yourself be loose and relaxed. So you're going to feel probably how your spine rounds back there. Right? Let that happen for a minute. We don't want it to be the default, but it's good to let it happen sometimes. But now create neutral again, right? So we're lifting the chest, we're pulling the shoulders down away from the ears together on the back just a little bit. It's not a back bend, but there should be a little dip between your shoulder blades, right? Ideally. One more big breath. And then on an inhale, make your way back up, releasing your arms. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and we are going to roll back, so position yourself on your mat accordingly. Soles of the feet come together. Hanging onto the ankles, lifting the chest into that neutral spine. Lean back and balance. So you can be here and be completely reliant on your arms to hold you here, but we don't want to be completely reliant. So use your belly, make sure your lower belly is working, and release your hands. Squeeze your knees together. You can hang on if you need to hang on. Squeeze your knees. Open your knees and squeeze your feet. And then squeeze your knees. Squeeze your feet. One more time. Squeeze your knees. Squeeze your feet. Grab onto your ankles again. And then go ahead and roll on back. Tuck your chin, and it almost happens automatically. Soles of the feet are going to stay together. Let's bring them to the floor. Resting your belly, your hips, your shoulders. Let's bring the knees together. We'll pull the knees into the chest and rock a little bit here. So then one more little, maybe a baby back bend. Take your feet to the floor. And if you have a block, you can absolutely 100% make this a resting pose. Not quick, just to demonstrate. So the feet are hip bone distance apart on the floor. Heels are pretty close to the hips. Touching is probably too close, right? But you can adjust as we go. Head and neck are resting. Okay. Bring the arms in tight to the sides of the body. I like to bend my elbows. My elbows get a little closer than I can with my arms straight. Pressing down into the floor with your triceps. That should kind of lift your chest up a little bit all by itself, right? And then pull with your feet towards your hips to lift your hips up off the floor. So it's a pulling action with your feet rather than a pressing away. Tucking the tailbone under to keep the lower back long. So it doesn't have to be big and fancy. This can be it. And if you want to make it really kind of nice, you can slide that block up underneath the hip points there, right? The sacrum, that's the word I was looking for. And then just rest on it. And that's really nice. But you can make it work, right? Maybe interlacing the fingers behind your back, tucking your shoulders up underneath to make it a great big back bend. Entirely up to you. We're just going to be here a couple more breaths, so don't panic or don't get too comfortable is probably the better way to say that. And then go ahead and release whatever you got. Keeping the feet flat. That's it. No more back bends. Knees hug to the chest. And then whatever variation of a final twist that you'd like. So you can leave the knees in close, you can take the feet to the floor, you can straighten your legs, whatever. Let the legs fall over to your right. Again, adjust if you want to adjust. Prop if you feel like you need to prop. I'll take just a couple more breaths over on this side. So if you did want to give it a little variation, you've got the time. And then we'll bring it back to center. And whatever you did on the first side, start there on the second side. You may feel like you want to adjust on the second side, but at least begin with the same variation. Couple more breaths over on this side. And then we'll make our way back up to the middle again. Drawing the knees into the chest one more time and give them a good squeeze. Forehead to the knees. Release and take a full body stretch. And then release the stretch. Making your way to wherever the body needs to be for Shavasana. Getting comfortable so the muscles can truly relax. Release control of your breath. Keeping the mind present, quiet. Giving both your body and your mind a moment just to simply relax. Allow your breath to gently deepen. Feeling fingers and toes, restoring movement to the body. When you're ready, taking the feet flat to the floor. Slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Sitting well. Bringing the palms to touch. Back to the light within. Namaste. All good, right? So, let me know about your must-have stretches to make your daily life good or more comfortable. And I wanted to point out the cool wall art that my husband made for me. So check that out. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend, and I will see y'all next week. All right. Bye.